people, my name is Rage, and welcome to my 30,000 subscriber special. Oh yes, before we begin, a big thanks is owed to all of you guys. You guys rock, you are the viewers, you make it happen. Give yourselves a round of applause. And if there's 2 of you in the room, or more, give each other pats on the back. And see where it leads. But anyway, alright, what I thought I'd do for my 30k special is I've always wanted to go and give an official top 10 list of my favourite ever games. So it made sense at such a milestone to do a special video like this. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. But then I thought having multiplayer and single player games on the same list kind of doesn't make sense because they're very different experiences. I'm going to split it into my top 10 single player games and top 10 multiplayer games. Single player games is this episode. I will do multiplayer games one if you guys are interested. Okay, now that's set up. So, before we begin, I'd like to play a game. For everyone who's interested in this game, what I want you to do is pause the video, although do that after I finish explaining it, or the whole thing would be redundant, and comment with what you think is on my top 10 list. Everyone who gets at least 5 out of the 10 games that are on my top 10 list, I'll reply to your comment with a high five, and you will get an official RageGamingVideos high five, okay? That is bragging rights, right there. In some circles, I imagine. Anyway, yeah, so if you feel like playing that little game, go for it. So, before we begin with the actual list, I want to throw in a few games that give a few special mentions to a few games that were heavily considered for the list, but didn't quite make it. And those games are on screen now. Okay, so we have the Portal franchise, and I bet a few of you are like, oh god, that was on my list! And yes, it is a very good game, but puzzle games have never been my thing. It is the best puzzle game I've ever played, but honestly, there's 10 games, well obviously there's 10 games that I prefer more than it, so that's why Portal is there. I don't really need to explain Portal to you. Okay, also we have Ocarina of Time, the Nintendo 64 version. Now this was heavily considered because 1, in my opinion, it's the best Zelda game. 2, it's an absolutely fantastic game. And 3, it's the first game I ever played on console, and I played it to death. But I don't need to explain Ocarina of Time, so there you go. Alright, we also have San Andreas, the GTA that got me into the GTA series. Put so many hours into this, absolutely loved it. And, you know, again, I don't have to explain San Andreas. The classic, and in some people's opinions, the best GTA game. We have Rome Total War, which is a very competent strategy game. I've, again, everything on this list, I've put a lot of time into, let's be honest. I can stop saying that. Very competent strategy game. The only strategy game I like, which doesn't actually primarily involve building structures in a small-scale battle. And, yeah, I recently bought it again, just to experience it, but just quite missed out on the list because I have played better strategy games than Rome. We have the Red Alert franchise, specifically number 2 though. That was one of the first PC games I ever got, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. One of the first strategy games that I played. Loved the units, loved the voices, it was just a awesome experience. And we have Thief 2. The other Thieves were good, but Thief 2 in my opinion was the best Thief. Now whenever I think of Thief, all I can think of is the sound, right, that the guys who are wandering the corridor make when they are nearly finding you, and it goes, I will smite thee when I find thee, and that would be uttered constantly by guards who are hunting you down, and it is something I really remember from Thief, and yeah, that's why Thief's on the list. Very good stealth game. Okay, so let's move on to the actual top 10 list. So, as you would imagine, 10 to 1, let's start with number 10. At number 10, and this might surprise a few of you, probably make a few of you go, what? And a few of you go, really? But yes, I can't, you know, I'm not ashamed of playing this game. I bet a lot of you guys, in fact most of you still play it, and practically all of you have played it and put a lot of time into it. Number 10 is the Pokemon franchise, specifically White in this case. I don't care what you say, everyone's played Pokemon. I've played a lot of Pokemon, nearly every version, put hundreds of hours into it, and it's a damn good game. The formula has remained the same, pretty much the same, over the years for a reason. It is a very competent RPG, and I don't care what you say. It is on this list because it's one of the most games I've put hours into, and it is an all-time classic. Anyone who doesn't have fond memories of Pokemon is seriously, there's something wrong with them, okay? Good. Glad I've successfully justified that. Okay, moving on to number 9. Number 9 is the first PC game I ever played, and I've played every single game in the series since then, and it is the Tomb Raider franchise. Now, the Tomb Raider franchise is just fantastic. The combat is great most of the time. A few times it likes to just not work. The platforming, again, basically the same as the combat. Yes, combat. Great most of the time. Sometimes it doesn't work. And the stories have always, bar like 1 or 2 games, been very, very competent. Now, the reason it's on this list is because it's a very, very nostalgia game for me, being the first PC game I ever played, and it's fantastic. The visuals have always been great, there's always been great enemies, there's also always been a great pair of pistols, and it's fantastic. So that's why Tomb Raider's there. If you've not played a Tomb Raider game, you really, really need to. Okay, number 8. Now, number 8 is my favourite Final Fantasy game. Now, I bet none of you are going to guess what my favourite Final Fantasy game is, because my favourite one is also my favourite game ever on the PS2. It's Final Fantasy XII. Now, Final Fantasy XII is the Final Fantasy that most deviates from the Final Fantasy XII... Final Fantasy XII is the Final Fantasy which most deviates from the Final Fantasy formula in general, and I think it did it brilliantly. Final Fantasy is the sort of Marmite of Final Fantasy. There's people who think it's the best game and love it, and then there's people who absolutely hate it and think it's the worst game. I'm one of those that loves it, obviously, and I've played through it so many times, and I actually want to do it again. It's a great Final Fantasy, and I really, really would strongly recommend playing it. Okay, number 7, we have a PSP entry, which is... I bet you didn't expect a PSP entry coming, okay? And it is the Monster Hunter franchise. What can I say about this game? Incredibly difficult, incredibly rewarding, and just one of the funnest experiences I've ever had. The enemies look great, they act great, the fighting is brilliant, the maps... It's just the best PSP game ever, in my opinion, and I cannot wait for them to finally release the English version of the latest one. I love this series. I've put hundreds of hours into the various incarnations. I've played every PSP incarnation of it, and it's just... oh, it's brilliant. You need to play Monster Hunter if you haven't. It is so good, but you have to be willing to give it a fair chance. It is really difficult. It really, really is. Alright. Moving on to number 6, and number 6 is my favourite... well, I guess by the position on the list, second favourite, but it could easily have been swapped round with number 5. Strategy game, and as you probably might have guessed, the Age of Empires franchise. Now, the Age of Empires franchise it's just fantastic. It really is the granddaddy of strategy games, one of the best strategy games ever made. And of course, I'm referring to everything but Age of Empires Online. I don't know what that heresy is, but that is not an Age of Empires game. But yeah, every other Age of Empires game has been fantastic. I've played it so much, done all the campaigns, and I don't need to explain to you Age of Empires, it is an absolute classic. Now, the one sound which comes to mind, the one standout memory, is from Age of Empires 2, I think. I sure hope so. I'm going to be annoyed if I get this wrong, but the sound which stands out, you might be able to guess the sound, so, you know, here goes. Wah-la-la! Wah-la-la! And if any of you just went, oh, hell yes, when you heard that, give yourselves a video 5. Go on, high five the video, and I will high five you back. Damn fucking straight. Okay, moving on to number 5. Now, number 5 is also a strategy game, and arguably could have swapped places with Age of Empires. It is Warcraft 3, The Frozen Throne. Also kind of including Warcraft 3, because The Frozen Throne is just the expansion, but fantastic strategy game. I love the hero aspect. Warcraft 3 is effectively the game that led to me getting WoW, because someone in a Warcraft 3 game told me about it. So, it is a very nostalgic game for me. I mean, it's also the origin of Dota, so... But the actual single player and campaign and the online battling, everything about it, it's a very, very solid, awesome strategy game. I love the story, the characters, how it played out. I love the emphasis on units and fighting over the base building aspect, which is one of the reasons why I don't like StarCraft as much. But yes, an absolute classic game, and if you haven't played it, I don't know what you're doing. I cannot wait for them, and I hope they do and make a Warcraft 4, because I would be all over that shit so quick. Right, now we get to the top 4. We're getting close, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting close to number 1 here. Number 4, okay, is Populous: The Beginning. another strategy game. Can you tell I like strategy games? The funny thing is, RPG is my favourite genre of game, but there's only been a couple that have truly been spectacular, in my opinion. But yes, Populous at the beginning, the best strategy game I've ever played that involves, you know, base building, building an army, attacking. Absolutely love it. I wish the studio hadn't been shut down, and I wish they'd have made more. It's by Bullfrog, and it's glorious. It really is glorious. The graphics may seem dated now, but honestly, I really would recommend. If anything on this list you haven't played, go play. They're on here for a reason. I love Populous. It's got great units, great buildings, great mechanics, and the God spell system is fantastic. Now, anyone among you who's played Populous, Karatanka! Okay? Alright, you'll know what that means if you've played Populous. Everyone else, play Populous. Alright, moving on to number 3. Now again, number 4 and number 3 could have swapped places. I had a really hard time deciding which order to put these in. But at number 3, we have Dungeon Keeper 2. This game is technically, I guess, a strategy game, but it involves carving out a dungeon. You are the bad guy in this game, and your objective is to kill the good guys. It's just like a layer versus layer, awesome game. You build rooms like treasuries and barrackses, hatcheries so you can feed your minions chickens, and you are basically this overlord dungeon master controlling an army of creatures, and you have imps to build rooms, excavate caverns, you mine gold ores, and you have spells, and it's fantastic. I have it on my external hard drive right now. I can play it at any point, and fuck the video, I'm off to play it. No, but it's great. It really is. Play Dungeon Keeper 2. It is good to be bad. Damn straight. Alright guys, number 2. I bet a lot of you are like, what, it's been 8 games and this hasn't come up. What the hell? It's gotta be soon. And I bet quite a few of you thought this was gonna be number 1. But at number 2, of course, we have the Half-Life franchise. This arguably could have taken number 1, but just I decided it wasn't as good as what number 1 is. But yes, what can I say about Half-Life? All of you should know what it is, and all of you should have played it. It is a glorious game. The best shooter I've ever played by far, though I don't really like to consider Half-Life a shooter. I just like to consider it an experience and a story. Love every inch of it. I cannot fault Half-Life in any respect. It was a revolutionary game when it first came out, and it continues to be amazing. Please, for God's sake, Valve, learn what the number 3 is and fucking make it. I want it so bad. But yes, here we go, guys. We are now at number 1. What's funny is that number 1 is arguably the game that I think the least people would have got when they were trying to guess what games were on my list, because number 1 was made by a sort of unknown German developer, and it kind of went under the radar. The game actually got panned by critics, and most people don't have fond memories of it, but I have put hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours into this game. I know every inch of it like the back of my hand. It is the best RPG I've ever played, and the best RPG of all time, in my opinion. It is Gothic 3, okay? It's glorious. Every second of this game is fantastic. When I finished it the first time, I was gutted. In fact, when I finished Gothic 3 the first time, I immediately started a new game and did it all again with just as much detail. Everything about it is brilliant. I don't care what anyone says, this game is faultless. In fact, I know from a technical and unbiased standpoint there are faults with this game, but it's easily masked by just how good everything it is. It is by far the most real feeling RPG I've ever played. You actually feel like you're in the world. Things run properly, way better than Skyrim or any of the Elder Scrolls. It annoys me when people fawn over the Elder Scrolls, which are competent games, don't get me wrong. But when people just like to tell me how good Elder Scrolls is, I think of Gothic 3 and think, you are missing out. If you think that's good, Jesus. And I will stress, okay, if you're thinking of trying this game, make sure you update it to the community patch 1.7.5. It makes it the Gothic 3 Enhanced Edition. It fixes all the problems that the developers neglected to fix, and makes it the complete, amazing, shining, glorious package. Although even without that, I still love the hell out of it. I cannot praise this game enough, guys. I could talk about Gothic 3 for the next hour, seriously. But I will spare you that trouble, because all I'm going to tell you is you are going to do yourself a disservice if you don't play this game. A lot of you will play it and not like it, and that's fair enough. It is a very niche audience because of how the RPG is. It's very gritty, it's very hardcore, very hardcore. It's the stat system can be a bit sort of daunting, the combat can be a little bit frustrating, but if you give the more you give Gothic 3, the more you get out of it, basically, and I just think it's amazing. I really, really do. So, there you have it, guys. These are my top 10 single-player games of all time. What do you think of my choices? I genuinely would like to know, and I would also like to know what your top 3 games of all time, because if I said 10, the comments would be quite ridiculously long. So let me know what your top 3 games are, and please, actually, will someone please comment, okay? Don't just lie. I want someone who has played Gothic 3 to watch this, who feels like this, who also thinks it's a brilliant game. Please comment telling me so. I want to know someone else that exists which likes this game as much as me, because no one I know knows do. Wow, that was a bad sentence. Because no one I know actually does, and it's a crying shame. Alright guys, that has been my top 10 single player games of all time. If you'd like my multiplayer games of all time as well, please let me know, because I'm not sure if I'm going to make it at this point. I'm going to see how this episode goes. But yeah, that's about it. My name has been Rage. Thank you all again for making 30k subs possible. I'll see you all at 40k. Damn fucking straight. A goodbye.